Welcome. In the last session, I have given a brief introduction on viruses. So, in this session, we will see about the structure of a virus, and then we will also say about viroids, prions, and lastly, we will also see about lichens. So, with that, we'll be finishing this chapter, biological classification. So, let's begin this session with the structure of virus. Okay, so here a virus is a nucleoprotein. A virus is a nucleoprotein. So here nucleo, which means nucleic acid. So I say that a virus is made up of two components. So it is made up of two components, and those two components, one is nucleic acid. So one component is nucleic acid and another one is protein. Now here the nucleic acids are of two types. Okay, only two types in the entire, in biology we don't have any other types of nucleic acids. Only two types of nucleic acids, RNA and DNA. So here the full form of RNA is ribonucleic acid, and coming to the DNA, so whose full form is deoxyribonucleic acid, right? And these two can act as genetic material. So act as genetic material. So here genetic material, which means it is a hereditary material, means it will be transferred from one generation to another generation. So just like in case of from parents to offspring, and those offspring will become adults, and from there to their offspring, and it goes on. So I call it a hereditary material. Okay, so whatever that the organisms characteristic features or characters are all depend on this genetic material. Now here in case of viruses, okay, so in viruses, okay, either RNA or DNA is present as genetic material. So here in viruses, either RNA or DNA is present as genetic material. And one important point here is no virus has both. Okay, so no virus has both RNA and DNA, right? So it will have either RNA or DNA. So because of this, we have classified the viruses. So because of that, we have classified the viruses into RNA viruses and then DNA viruses. So here RNA viruses are the viruses that have RNA as genetic material, whereas DNA viruses, they have DNA as genetic material. Okay, so I told you that no virus will have both RNA and DNA. They will have either RNA or DNA, and along with that there will be a protein. So RNA plus protein or DNA plus protein, but not RNA, DNA and protein. That is wrong. Okay, so coming to in case of prokaryotes and eukaryotes, right? So in case of prokaryotes, the bacteria and other organisms which are included under it, and eukaryotes, so these organisms will have both DNA and RNA, but only one of it will act as genetic material, and that is DNA. Okay, the RNA will act as non-genetic material. So all those things, the structure of RNA, DNA, what is it, okay, how they are all, we'll see only in second year in the chapter molecular basis of inheritance. Okay, right. So this is a little information. So what this virus is made up of, right? Next, so here one point. So in case of RNA, so this RNA is usually, right, single stranded, so which means that it is made up of only one strand. So it looks okay. So I'm just giving okay, only an elementary idea here. So I'm not giving a detailed structure of this. I told you already the detailed structures and all we will see only in our coming, okay, sessions. Okay, and it will be having, okay, something like this. So this is a single stranded RNA molecule, how it looks like. Okay, here whatever that I have written, so these are all nitrogen bases. Later we'll understand all those things, so I'm just mentioning. And coming to this deoxyribonucleic acid, it is usually double stranded. So it is usually double stranded. And okay, coming to this double stranded, so here you will see, okay, something like this. Okay, so this is a double stranded. So in this case this forms one strand. So this is one strand and this is, okay, one strand. So as there are two strands, okay, we call it a double stranded. So DNAs usually are double stranded and ribonucleic acids are usually single stranded. Okay, right. uh, we know that viruses are obligate parasites. So viruses are obligate parasites and they cause diseases in plants, animals, including human beings. Okay, so here usually the viruses that infect plants, so usually the viruses that infect plants, so the viruses that infect plants, they will be having, right, single stranded RNA. So they have single stranded RNA. So here SS, that stands for single stranded. Okay, so they will contain single stranded, okay, RNA. Now coming to viruses that infect plants. Okay, so usually the viruses that infect animals. Okay, so here I told the viruses that infect plants, they have single stranded RNA. And coming to the viruses that infect animals, so in this case those viruses that infect animals, they may have, okay, right, single stranded RNA. So they have single stranded RNA, or they may have double stranded RNA, or they may have double stranded DNA. Okay, it means that in some viruses they may have single stranded RNA, in some viruses they will have double stranded RNA, in some other viruses they may have double stranded RNA. I'm talking about those viruses that infect, okay, animals and cause diseases. Okay, and then coming to viruses that infect bacteria. So viruses that infect bacteria. So here the viruses that infect bacteria are called bacteriophages. So don't get confused here. Bacteriophage is not a bacteria. So the bacteriophage is a virus. So this is a virus. A virus that infects bacteria, we call them bacteriophages. So actually the word phage means virus. Okay, right? So viruses that infect bacteria are called bacteriophages, and these bacteriophages will have, okay, double-stranded DNA. So their nucleic acid will be double-stranded DNA. Okay, so you can see in this case the viruses that infect plants, they have nucleic acid, single-stranded RNA, and the viruses that infect animals, they have single-stranded RNA, or they may have double-stranded RNA. Not all these in one. So some viruses will have single-stranded RNA, some of those viruses will have double-stranded RNA, and some of them will have, okay, double-stranded DNA. And in this bacteriophages will be having double-stranded DNA. Okay, right? So that's small information. Now we will see a few more points, right? Now coming to the next component, that is protein. So what is the use of this protein? So here the protein actually forms a protein coat. The component of virus, that is protein, so it forms a protein coat, and this protein coat is protective in function. So actually it protects the nucleic acid. So this protein coat protects nucleic acid. So whatever that nucleic acid the virus has, that is protected by this protein coat. So you will see, I'm just giving an idea. So this is the protein coat present, okay, and then so this protein coat encloses the nucleic acid. So this is protein coat and this is nucleic acid. Okay, clear? So the protein coat encloses the nucleic acid and it protects the nucleic acid. Now here the protein coat is called capsid. So the protein coat is called capsid, and this capsid is made up of many subunits. Okay, so that protein coat capsid is made up of many subunits. So those subunits are called capsomeres. So here these capsomeres and capsids we can see very clearly in case of tobacco mosaic virus. So I'll just draw the diagram of tobacco mosaic virus. Right, so here I have drawn the diagram of tobacco mosaic virus. It is tobacco mosaic virus. In short, we call it TMV, and this causes mosaic disease. So it causes mosaic disease of tobacco. So it causes mosaic disease of tobacco. So you can see in this case, okay, so this is the protein coat, okay, and this entire protein coat is what we call a capsid. And I told you that the capsid is composed of many, right, subunits. So you can see there are subunits here, and these subunits are called capsomeres. So they are called capsomeres, and these capsomeres are arranged in, okay, so they may be arranged in helical, okay, or polyhedral geometric forms. Polyhedral geometric forms. Okay, so in this case the tobacco mosaic virus, actually these capsomeres are arranged in helix. So they're actually, so helix, which means you will see like this. So where I'll just draw, so this is the helical arrangement of capsomeres. So helical arrangement of capsomeres. Okay, so they may be present, okay, in helical or polyhedral geometric forms. So I'll draw another diagram, so where I will be showing, so the polyhedral geometric form of arrangement of these, okay, right, proteins, right. So there I have drawn the diagram of bacteriophage. Okay, so before I go there, here one more point I would like to tell. So here this the red color one is RNA. So is it's a, okay, nucleic acid, and that too it is a single stranded RNA. So it has single stranded RNA is present in case of this tobacco mosaic virus. Now let's come to this bacteriophage. So we can see here in this bacteriophage, this is the capsid, that is the protein code, and you can see the polyhedral form here. Okay, and this is, we call it the head, and inside this is the nucleic acid. So if you open this, you will see inside the presence of nucleic acid, and I told you that in case of these bacteriophages, they have double-stranded DNA as the nucleic acid. And then below this we find, okay, collar. So there is collar, and this is sheath, okay, and these are all called, right, tail fibers. So they are all called tail fibers, and this is called a basal plate, is called basal plate. Okay, right. Later in coming sessions we will see the life cycles of viruses when we discuss a NEAT. Okay, so during when we see in terms of NEAT, there I will discuss how these bacteriophages will able to infect the cells, okay, and what happens to those nucleic acids, and their life cycles we will see in coming sessions. Okay, so that's about the bacteriophage, where you find the capsomeres. Okay, so those arranged in a polyhedral geometric form, and there you have seen arranged in a helical form. Next, I told you that these viruses will cause, right, diseases in plants, animals, including humans also. Now I'll just give you a few disease names in humans that are caused by viruses. Okay, so here diseases in humans caused by viruses. Okay, so those diseases are mumps. So it causes a disease called mumps. Then, so they also have caused smallpox. So it's another disease. Then they also have caused herpes. Okay, so this is a sexually transmitted disease. So herpes is a sexually transmitted disease. And then another disease like influenza, and then AIDS. Okay, so this is also a sexually transmitted disease. So AIDS, herpes, these two are sexually transmitted diseases. So these are some names of diseases. that are actually caused by viruses in humans. Now coming to plants here. So the viral infection in case of plants will give different symptoms. Okay, so here viral infection in plants, okay, show different symptoms. So they show different symptoms. So I'll just tell you here, not about the diseases, okay, names of the diseases. I'll tell here the symptoms that we see in case of plants when they are infected by viruses. Okay, like we'll see about mosaic formation. So the mosaic formation means on a leaf you may find, okay, different patches. So at different patches that may be that might have lost the colors. Okay, so that different patch, coloration, what we see in case of leaf, you can call it mosaic formation. Then they also result in the formation of right leaf rolling and curling. So they cause leaf, okay, rolling and curling also. And then even yellowing of veins. So it causes yellowing of veins and vein clearing. That's vein clearing. So when we see the veins in case of the leaf, so you may find, so with lot of branches like this, so all these branches will be seen in yellow color. Okay, actually these are all interconnected and form a network they form. So here right from the midrib they arise, and these are the veins that will turn into yellow color. So vein yellowing of veins or vein clearing, so where you will see these veins in yellow color. Okay, so that is a symptom we see when a plant is infected with a virus. And then in some plants it may show dwarfing, means the plant will be very short, will not grow. Okay, and in some plants it will show stunted growth. In some plants it shows, okay, stunted growth. So these are various symptoms, okay, in different plants when they are infected with the virus. Right, so with this, I would like to finish this session. So I thought of right completing, the prions, viroids, okay, and lichens in this session. Okay, so those we will see in the next session.